Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to really dig into a stack of sources today.
Yep, pull out those key insights.
Exactly, the surprising facts and those, moments that just make you feel genuinely informed.
Get you up to speed quickly.
Totally. And today, we're starting with an image that, well, it might feel uncomfortably close to home for a lot of us listening. Imagine for a moment a world where the very fabric of society starts to unravel. Not with a bang, not with violence, but with silence. A really deep, chilling silence.
It's a powerful setup.
Picture your local grocery store, maybe your favorite restaurant. That park you walk through every day suddenly just standing still, eerily still.
Because the people.
Because the hands, the countless hands that made them work, that kept everything humming along, have just walked away.
It's a genuinely chilling thought, isn't it? That image is the immediate hook for our deep dive today.
Right.
We're going to unpack this really extraordinary collection of sources. Together, they explore this profound what-if scenario. What happens when a nation decides to fundamentally alter its relationship with immigration?
And the core of it is this fictional narrative, right? Empty Country by Paramendra Bhagat.
Exactly. It's a novel outline, but it lays out this compelling, almost, you could say, prophetic tale of mass exodus and radical transformation. It gives us a really unique way to look at things.
But it's not just fiction, and that's key here.
No, definitely not.
Alongside this speculative story, we've got these really powerful essays from the same collection. They offer real-world context, sharp arguments, data-driven points about America's actual immigration policies.
So our mission today is to pull out the most important insights from this, unique mix, connect the dots between the fiction and the reality.
And see what surprising facts, what aha moments pop out when you put speculative fiction next to, well, pressing economic reality.
Yeah, and this deep dive is really for you, the listener, whether you're trying to get smart on a topic fast, prepping for something, or just, incredibly curious.
Our goal is to help you grasp complex ideas quickly, see multiple perspectives, and get those well-informed insights without feeling buried in information.
We're going to explore a future that might feel uncomfortably close. And together we'll see why understanding immigration's role, both historically and right now, is more critical than maybe ever before.
Okay, let's do it. Let's begin that journey.
Right.
So, with that image of a silent America kind of hanging in the air, let's dive into part one. The Great Unraveling America's Fictional Exodus and its real-world echoes.
Okay.
The novel just kicks off with this edict. It's so unthinkable, it basically sets the world on a completely new path. Chapter 1, The Speech.
Dramatic title.
Very. Picture this. It's
Good.
dusk. The Oval Office. The mood is tense. The lighting is stark, almost like theatrical. Teleprompter scrolling.
You can almost see it.
President Trump, red tie, stands before a global audience, live on national TV. He starts with this solemn tone, "My fellow Americans, the time has come." The usual build-up to do what should have been done a long, long time ago. And then, boom, out of nowhere. Starting now, every undocumented foreign worker must leave the United States. You have 24 hours.
Wow. Just like that. My first reaction reading that was just surreal disbelief, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
The way the narrative describes it, it's so stark, almost cinematic. Not chaos, like you might expect, but this chilling silence that follows.
Right, no protests.
No protests, no riots, no violence, just silence. The news hits phones, TVs, everywhere. But the reaction is this deep, eerie quiet, like something older, deeper than just outrage clicks in.
It's incredibly powerful. Unsettling.
Totally. And then the novel gives us these symbolic moments, almost like little film clips. A cook in a busy kitchen just quietly takes off his apron, hangs it up.
A nurse sets down a chart.
Exactly. A gardener drops his trimmer, the motor just dies out.
Yeah.
And then all of them, these individuals from everywhere, they just start walking.
Silently.
Silently. South, on foot. It's this incredible visual, this quiet collective act of millions just turning their backs and walking away. Together.
Which leads right into chapter 2, also powerfully titled, The Long Walk. The imagery here is described as, like, haunting, almost biblical. Millions walking silently, but not a mob. Orderly lines. Determined.
Crossing freeways, rural roads.
Even train tracks. No banners, no chants, no anger, just the sound of feet. Millions of feet. A collective rhythm on the asphalt.
The novel says it's like watching a tide recede.
Except the water literally walked away. Yeah. There's a sense of dignity,
Right.
resolute purpose in this quiet mass movement.
And what's really fascinating is the contrast the novel sets up. You have the media frenzy,
Oh yeah, total meltdown.
total meltdown, CNN 24-hour coverage, BBC calls it the Great Southward Departure, Al Jazeera, the silent rebellion, constant noise.
But the walkers,
Utter silence. Amidst all that global media noise, they just keep walking silently.
and the details really stick with you.
They do. Like the young mother from Oaxaca zipping a small backpack, tying her toddler to her chest with a red shawl. So specific.
Or the elderly man from El Salvador being wheeled along by his grandkids.
Yeah, or the teenage dishwasher from Honduras pushing a beat-up bike, his few belongings strapped on. They're not just characters, they're symbols. Symbols of dignity, quiet power.
Like salmon heading upstream.
Or a tide receding. Yeah, it's this primal, uncoordinated, yet somehow unified act of will.
Yeah.
And the world is just glued to it. Why? Because it completely flips the script on what a rebellion looks like. It's deeper. It's about human value, self-worth.
And then comes the fallout, the decay. Chapter 3, simply called The Rot.
Stark title.
And it paints this visceral, almost horrifying picture of the immediate consequences across the U.S. Almost overnight, things start to crumble.
Right, crops blackening in California's Central Valley, just left on the vine, rotting.
Dishes piling up in Michelin-starred restaurants in New York. Kitchens grind to a halt.
Seniors in nursing homes just waiting for morning showers for meals. Staff just gone.
Lawns turning into wild meadows. Sidewalks cracking. Weeds everywhere.
And the novel really hits you with the sensory details. The smell of mildew, stagnant grease instead of bleach, the silence where there used to be that constant hum of activity.
It's not just an economic idea like GDP is down, it's visceral society rotting from the inside out.
Exactly. And the central point, the sobering thing the novel drives home, is that America suddenly realizes, like a slap in the face, how many invisible hands held everything together.
It wasn't just about picking produce or washing dishes.
No, it was about people, the caregivers for the elderly, for kids, the janitors keeping things clean, construction workers building everything, mail sorters keeping communication going. All these people, often unseen, unacknowledged.
Their sudden absence creates this deep human void, a slow implosion of just everyday life.
Yeah, it's the stark realization that the basic structures, the things we just took for granted, depended entirely on this workforce that just vanished.
And the political reaction? Chaos.
Utter chaos. It shifts, right, from denial initially
to full-blown panic. The media follows suit, first downplaying it, then alarm bells everywhere.
Governors are demanding answers from D.C. The Secretary of Agriculture tries to spin it as a seasonal labor anomaly.
Which becomes tragically laughable fast.
Totally false. And the White House, disturbingly silent, almost paralyzed.
And the public mood, it shifts too, from annoyance like, my favorite place is closed,
to real disruption. And then deeper, this unsettling sense of systemic failure, people questioning the very ground they stand on.
This is where the fiction connects so powerfully and disturbingly to the facts in those articles.
Absolutely. That fictional decay, it has stark, real-world echoes, like in the article, Rot the Crop, the devastating consequences of America's broken immigration strategy.
Right. It directly links the novel scenario to what's already happening. Anti-immigrant policies, raids, visa cuts, they're already leading to crops literally rotting in fields.
Especially in places like California's Central Valley. It's not a metaphor in the novel. It's an economic reality right now, costing farmers billions.
And that article goes right after the myth of the job-stealing immigrant.
Yeah, it really pushes back hard on that, emphasizing that immigrants don't steal jobs. They overwhelmingly fill jobs Americans won't do, or they create new jobs through entrepreneurship.
The data is pretty clear on that. Immigrants start businesses at higher rates.
Pay billions in taxes, contribute hugely to the social fabric, the cultural life of communities.
The article blames a failure of political courage in Congress, decades of failing to pass meaningful immigration reform.
It frames it as a systemic political failure, not a problem caused by the immigrants themselves. A failure to create sensible, forward-looking policies.
And then you connect that to the other article, emptying 40% of NYC is not logical.
Which paints an even bigger, starker picture. Mass deportation. It's not just logistically impossible. Think about trying to remove millions overnight.
It'd be economic suicide. And morally corrosive.
Exactly. Cities like New York rely so heavily on immigrant labor. Restaurants, hospitals, construction, retail, transport, pretty much every sector.
The projections in that article are terrifying. Hundreds of billions lost in economic output, lost tax revenue. It would basically grind major cities to a halt.
And it's not just about low-wage jobs, it's the whole service economy that supports urban life collapsing.
But what struck me about these articles is they don't just point fingers or list problems, they actually offer solutions.
Yeah, they proposed a really logical, kind of human-centered path forward.
Like documenting the undocumented, creating clear legal ways for people already here, already part of our communities, to regularize their status.
Which makes sense on so many levels. Boosts public safety, strengthens economies through taxes, creates more stable, visible workforce.
It just seems like common sense.
It does. And building on that, they also stress the urgent need for a massive seasonal worker visa program.
Right, to meet those fluctuating labor needs, especially in farming and hospitality.
And it's framed as a direct way to reduce illegal crossings, which often happen out of sheer economic necessity, not a desire to stay forever.
The articles call this approach smart economics, but also humane.
Yeah, offering dignity to workers who just want temporary work to support families back home. It's about aligning our laws with economic reality and, frankly, our values, instead of letting fear or just outdated thinking dictate policy.
The novel almost sets up the extreme, satirical worst-case scenario of ignoring these realities.
Well, the articles lay out the evidence and the common sense solutions that have been, right there for a long time.
Okay, so we've seen the unraveling, the quiet collapse, but this deep dive isn't just about loss, right? It's about what comes next.
Exactly. It's about what emerges from that disruption.
Which brings us to part 2, the birth of a new future northern Sonora and the power of reimagination. This is where the narrative just flips completely.
It really does. It goes from grim to genuinely inspiring.
Chapter 4, Mexico's unprecedented invitation. Picture the Palacio Nacional in Mexico City. The Mexican president, Claudia Sheinbaum in the novel, a visionary figure.
Right.
She gives this global address that just sends shockwaves everywhere, offering sanctuary, offering opportunity to the millions walking south, to those who were, as the book says, denied dignity.
And it's not just rhetoric, right? It's this dramatic, almost biblical moment, historically huge. She makes a specific, absolutely astonishing announcement.
Yeah, defies all normal geopolitics.
Mexico is dedicating this huge piece of land, 50 miles by 50 miles in northern Sonora. And then she says to the world, to the people walking towards her border, yours to build, yours to own, yours to govern.
A free zone, a sovereign economic experiment, a new city co-created by those who were once denied dignity. Just wow.
The reaction is immediate. Cheers erupt in border towns, global astonishment, diplomats scrambling.
And Mexico acts instantly.
Yeah.
Federal engineers dispatched, solar panels, modular housing, mobile clinics pouring into the zone.
And the name Nueva Esperanza, Hope Reborn, starts trending worldwide.
It's such a powerful reversal of the usual border story. No armed guards, no fences.
No, the novel describes border guards just silently stepping aside. Their job changed overnight. Mexican officials retrained as greeters.
Welcoming people. The first wave, exhausted, thirsty, they're met with water, fruit, and bienvenidos, you are home now.
It's a total redefinition of what a border can even mean.
Which leads into Chapter 5, the foundation. Laying the groundwork for this new city.
And the mood shift is palpable. From barren desert dust to blueprints unrolling, shovels hitting dirt.
The first dig, the first solar panel installed, the first block laid.
The architectural plans sound amazing, 10-story minimalist buildings, inward-facing gardens, shaded corridors, a real sense of determined rebirth, collective purpose.
And what's incredible is it's people-powered, right?
Almost entirely. The novel says, no bulldozers at first, only hands.
The same hands that picked strawberries, poured concrete, cleaned rooms.
Skills often undervalued or invisible before, now suddenly invaluable. People self-organize into these efficient groups, Barrio Tres Collective, North Light Builders.
With simple rules. Pitch in, learn, teach.
It's like collective intelligence just spontaneously erupting.
And they're building smart, not just fast.
Yeah.
Sustainable innovation is baked in from the start.
Totally. Off-grid power, satellite broadband everywhere, AI-powered design coordination to optimize resources.
Solar desalination for water, crucial in the desert.
And no private cars. Just silent electric buses, wide pedestrian corridors. It's designed for community interaction, walkability.
And gardens aren't an afterthought. They're central to each housing cluster. Food, green space, connection.
Community-led services pop up immediately, too. Schools, multilingual, subject-based, not age-based, volunteer teachers.
Medical clinics staffed by undocumented professionals who left the U.S. doctors, nurses, now using their skills freely.
Libraries starting with maybe just one shelf under a tree, growing organically through donations. It's all bottom up, driven by needs and skills right there.
And the novel makes this point about the real foundation.
Yeah, the foundation was not just concrete, it was trust. Daily meetings in this central amphitheater, every voice equal, decisions by consensus, fostering real shared ownership.
The symbolism of the welder.
Oh, yeah. The guy who built skyscrapers he could never enter, now sleeping securely in what he's building himself. It's not just ownership, it's dignity, belonging, building your own future.
Okay, fast forward 6 months, chapter 6.
Yeah.
Northern Sonora rises.
Yeah.
The city isn't just functional, it's thriving.
Districts are emerging, electric buses glide around, schools, clinics, rooftop gardens are flourishing. Those solar farms are shimmering. The tone is just hopeful, explosive growth.
And we meet these characters driving the innovation. A Guatemalan AI coder building the city's systems.
A Filipino nurse opening a genuinely free clinic.
A Honduran architect sketching next-gen housing. Everyone bringing their skills.
And then comes the unexpected foreign direct investment, the FDI.
Right. China invests $5 billion, seeing the potential.
Germany sends advanced solar tech. It's a living lab for sustainability. India offers university partnerships.
President Sheinbaum visits not as a ruler, but as a guest, a collaborator, underscoring its autonomy.
The whole rhythm of the city is different. Construction happens flexibly. Plaza Esperanza is this vibrant civic and cultural hub. Housing is uniform initially, but people personalize it.
And they develop their own digital currency, Esperance. You mentioned mutual credit. Can you explain that a bit more? How does it work differently?
Yeah, great question. Mutual credit is fascinating. Think of it like a community-wide IOU network. Instead of relying on banks or government money, transactions are based on trust and reciprocal agreements within the community.
Okay.
So when you buy something with Esperas, you essentially create a credit with the seller. That credit gets balanced out by future transactions you make or receive.
Ah, so it keeps the values circulating locally.
Exactly. It keeps wealth circulating directly within the community. It encourages local trade, entrepreneurship, keeps investment rooted right there instead of being extracted by outside finance. It builds incredible economic resilience and community bonds.
That makes sense. And their city operations run on open source AI.
Yeah, radical transparency, public scheduling, waste management, everything. Citizens can see how decisions are made, and justice is totally reimagined. No police as we know them.
Safety stewards instead.
Right. Community members trained in de-escalation, mediation, and restorative justice circles, bringing victims, offenders, community together to repair harm, rebuild relationships, not just punish.
The city becomes magnetic, not just functional.
Yeah. The nightscape is described as soft, golden, warm lights, glowing walkways, murals, sparkling in the desert. The press calls it the Sonoran Star.
And that mantra, no one gave us this. We created it together. It's really a city built by consensus.
It is. And this amazing innovation in governance directly connects to that article, the $50 trillion unlock, why GovTech, not the BRI, will transform the global south.
Right. The article argues the real revolution isn't traditional infrastructure, like China's Belt and Road Initiative.
Which is Beijing's huge global development strategy, building ports, roads, etc.
Instead, the article says the game changer is GovTech-powered land digitization. So, first, what exactly is GovTech? And why is digitizing land so revolutionary?
Okay, GovTech is basically using technology to make government services better, more efficient, transparent, accessible, often focusing on basics like land registries and the digitization part. That's where the $50 trillion comes in. The article argues there's massive dead capital in the global south, latent wealth tied up in land that's unregistered or informally owned.
Because without clear legal title.
Exactly. You can't use it for loans, collateral, investment. It's just their dead capital. But by precisely mapping and registering ownership on secure digital platforms, maybe blockchain, other tech, you unlock that wealth.
People can then leverage their own property.
Yes. Get loans, start businesses, invest in their communities. It ignites growth from the ground up.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And the article contrasts this with the BRI and traditional Western aid.
Right. Those often create dependency or huge debt. But GovTech, the article argues, builds capacity within governments. It promotes sovereignty, scalability, inclusivity. It's not about external handouts or mega projects. It's about re-engineering a country's own operating system, empowering its citizens.
Which is exactly what Sonora does in the novel. It's like a living blueprint.
Precisely. It's transparent governance, self-organization, digital systems like Esperas, the open source AI. It mirrors the article's vision. They essentially built their own city operating system, allowing rapid growth, resource management, complex services, all independent of old top-down structures.
It's a powerful fictional validation of that GovTech idea. Shows how empowering people through transparent digital governance can lead to incredible outcomes.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's move to part 3, the global echo from Exodus to replication. The story takes another huge, surprising turn with Chapter 7, Exodus 2.0.
Yeah, this isn't just the undocumented leaving anymore.
No, it's a whole new wave. Documented workers, people with H-1B visas, skilled Filipino nurses, tech workers, grad students, even U.S.-born citizens, resigning en masse.
And crucially, not leaving for other companies or countries. They're heading for northern Sonora.
What drives this?
It's a profound shift in thinking. The novel explains it really well. People realize, okay, maybe I wasn't illegal in the U.S., but was I ever truly free? This feeling of being tolerated, not truly belonging, contributions taken for granted.
The new wisdom becomes, luck is building your own country, not surviving someone else's.
Exactly, which causes total panic in the U.S. State Department, empty IC detention centers, recruiters in Silicon Valley, hospitals, totally bewildered by this talent drain.
Sonora gets called the Shenzhen of the West.
Yeah, for its growth, but as we said, for very different, more human reasons.
And Sonora just keeps growing. Distrito Aurora, the engineer's village, pops up. The Khan's co-working space, funded by crypto philanthropists.
And their mantra there, we are not building apps, we are building systems for human dignity. It speaks volumes.
Even more striking is when U.S. citizens start arriving white, black, Asian, and the rule for them.
Simple, profound. Participate, contribute, don't dominate. It's an invitation to join, not take over. Humility is key.
The media has no idea how to frame this.
None at all. Is it an economic cult, globalist anarchy, or the birth of something post-national, a new civilization?
But the numbers are undeniable. Within a year, 500,000 residents, $17 billion GDP, 82% bilingual kids, zero violent crime. Astonishing.
This isn't a refugee story now, it's Exodus 2.0, a voluntary departure of global talent seeking a different future.
By year 2, Chapter 8, Shenzhen of the West, Sonora is a powerhouse, a city-state in all but name.
But the comparison to Shenzhen highlights the contrast. Top-down capitalism versus Sonora's bottom-up human dignity, cooperative economy.
The stats are mind-blowing. 43% GDP growth, 600% jump in patent applications.
Per capita income surpassing 6 Mexican states, 99.9% electricity uptime from solar, 18th the carbon footprint of LA.
And the design philosophy, modular, adaptable. Buildings can be repurposed incredibly fast. Classrooms one week, a clinic the next.
The Nueva Esperanza Polytechnic is a great example. Fuses university, trade school, incubator. Professors chosen for contribution, not just credentials, like that Guatemalan grandmother teaching negotiation.
Based on lived experience, not a PhD. Love that.
Governance stays transparent. Open data dashboard, AI analysis, public consensus for implementation. The Friday Civic Festival sounds amazing. Hackers unveiling open source tools, clean energy credits awarded.
And citizenship itself is redefined. Housing is provided, but participation is mandatory. 15 hours a week in commons programs.
And it's explicitly not workfare, it's contribution-based citizenship. Your right to belong, to benefit, is tied directly to your active participation in building and maintaining the community.
Fosters ownership, shared responsibility, purpose.
Deeply. They even wrote their own living constitution, crafted by the people, 6 languages. Starts with, we are not your labor, we are not your burden, we are your future. Powerful stuff.
And by the end of year 2, they open source everything. Blueprints, governance models in 28 languages. An invitation to the world.
Which leads right into Chapter 9, Little Americas. By year 3, the model is spreading globally, like spores riding on winds of necessity and imagination.
Organically. Not conquest, not corporate expansion. Whispers, shared code, open blueprints.
And the irony of the name, Little Americas, is key. These aren't U.S. outposts. They're cities born from the departure, the defiance, and the redesign of what America had failed to become. A different vision.
The novel gives specific examples.
Yeah, really inspiring ones. MG Impia in Kenya, integrating local traditions. Esperanza Alta in Colombia, built by ex-combatants and refugees together. Imagine that.
Wow.
El Amal in Tunisia, solar fields replacing oil storage, women-led governance. Kalki Nagar in Nepal, integrating Buddhist design. Kampung Baru Espera in Indonesia, bamboo structures, floating solar. Adapting the model everywhere.
But they all share core principles from Sonora.
Absolutely. Walkability, cooperative housing, universal civic contribution, transparent governance, free public transit, community-led conflict resolution.
And they're linked by the Aspera grid.
Right, this decentralized network for sharing blueprints, legal templates, surplus goods, AI tools. There's even a global commons bank backed by civic trust scores, letting cities borrow labor and ideas from each other. True collaboration.
It sparks this global cultural explosion, too. Artists, chefs, educators connecting, sharing via solar-powered tablets.
The Western media slowly starts to grapple with it. The New Yorker, after America, a new kind of civilization. The Economist, is the nation-state obsolete?
Even Fox News has to cover it, calling it globalist anarchy, predictably.
But what's striking is the leaderships. The novel says, no single person led, no heroes, just builders. It's a diaspora of dignity, changing the world map community by community.
Which brings us to part 4, the reverse flow and a Garden City planet. Chapter 10, America Empties, takes us back to the U.S., and the contrast is stark.
Painfully stark. Long silences. Birdsong echoing weirdly in Queens. Vegas neon blinking over empty streets like relics. It's not sudden anymore. It's a slow, undeniable leak of people, of lifeblood.
And the collapse goes deeper than just labor shortages. Civic life withers. City council meetings half attended. Volunteer groups folding.
Essential services fail. Park restrooms closed. DMV lines impossible. 911 calls getting rerouted. It's this profound human absence, the invisible infrastructure of just people participating, engaging. It's just gone.
The paradox of unemployment spiking not from layoffs, but because the system itself can't function without people. Amazon warehouses missing targets because there's no one to sort packages.
The novel calls it the Great Abandonment, because now many leaving are U.S. citizens, skilled migrants, people with every right to be there, choosing to leave, seeking something else.
Public reaction splits. Anger versus reflection.
Yeah, a deep divide. Political chaos continues. Emergency federal spending is too little, too late. Attempts to mimic Sonora fall flat because they lack the core principles, the dignity, the consensus.
By year 5, 2 million Americans have left by choice for the Aspera grid cities. America is losing relevance.
And here's the really wild, unexpected twist. Chapter 11, the reverse migration.
This blew my mind.
Right, an unmistakable reverse flow. Now it's U.S. citizens, former ICE agents, disillusioned teachers, burnt-out nurses, gig workers, retirees, veterans, artists seeking entry into the places once occupied by the undocumented.
The roles completely reversed.
Yeah.
Surreal.
Sonora's welcome protocol is clear but conditional. You have to do the civic contribution track, the 40-hour orientation on Sonoran values, nonviolence, equity, cooperation, a local mentorship. It's not just opening the door, it's about alignment, humility, willingness to integrate.
And the transformations are incredible. The former sheriff cleaning compost bins.
The tech consultant learning bus maintenance. The pastor leading poetry circles.
The phrase, teach the builders how to rebuild. Wow.
Sonora's economy absorbs them gracefully. Aspera credits for transition, housing co-ops welcoming them, new industries like civic integration services popping up, often led by the original builders.
This leads to the idea of the global contributor residency.
Yeah, revolutionary.
Yeah.
Based on participation, contribution, not passport or birth, adopted across the Aspera grid, citizenship earned through belonging, through actively participating.
The kids integrate even faster, blending accents, fluid loyalties, Kansas girls singing Quechua lullabies, Jersey boys studying Urdu.
And that memory corridor plaque in Sonora sums it all up. The border was never a line, it was a mirror. What you saw here was yourself. It's about a journey of self-discovery for everyone involved.
Finally, Chapter 12, the Garden City planet. By year 10, world maps are redrawn, not by conquest, but cooperation.
Cities of belonging, Esperanza, MG Impia, Kalki Nagar pulsing with gross dignity product, a new metric for success.
The first global assembly of Aspera cities convenes. The keynote by 16-year-old Isa, who made that viral film, We Walked, Then We Built.
And her line, home is not where you're born, it's where you are allowed to become, just resonates so deeply.
The Aspera grid becomes a planetary commons, sharing everything, building codes, curricula, solar algorithms, justice practices, languages, music, governance AI in decentralized clusters.
Education becomes planetary contribution paths, public portfolios of skills. Healthcare is decentralized, preventative, holistic. Mental health addressed through public art, community.
The environment itself changes. Roofs growing food, streets whispering, Waste is nutrient, circular energy. Cities tuned to local ecology and culture.
That Museum of the Walkers at the border crossing sounds incredibly powerful. Entered barefoot, lined with shoes, clay footprints. The inscription, "We were not poor, we were the wealth America never recognized."
Global politics shift. The UN restructures to include city nations. Power held by those with the most contributors. The definition of citizen, one who makes where they are better.
A new global holiday, Walk Day, silent processions worldwide, remembering being denied, celebrating belonging.
Even in the U.S., the America Within movement starts retrofitting old cities with Espera principles, finally acknowledging we learned from the ones who left.
The novel ends with ICE's ritual at dusk, standing at the border, not to guard but to welcome, asking, what are we building today that will make someone else walk toward us tomorrow?
And that final line.
Because the world, it turned out, was not flat or round. It was walkable. Just a beautiful, profound reframe. Connection, movement, finding and creating belonging.
Wow. Okay, and there you have an incredible, really thought-provoking journey we just took.
Definitely a lot to process.
From that stark edict emptying a nation to building these vibrant, self-sustaining cities based on, well, radical human dignity and deep cooperation.
And bringing together the speculative fiction of Empty Country with those sharp, real-world essays.
Yeah, it gives you this truly provocative lens on immigration, on economic resilience, and really on what it means to belong in this rapidly changing world we're in.
We really hope this deep dive has helped you, listening in, see just how interconnected everything is, how vital every single person's contribution can be.
And how just challenging our own assumptions, our preconceived notions, can open up these incredible possibilities for reimagining how we live together.
Absolutely.
So what does this all mean for you? As you reflect on this journey through Empty Country that somehow sparked a Garden City planet, maybe consider this.
In a world that's so defined by movement, by change, the ebb and flow of people and ideas.
What structures, maybe personal ones, maybe societal ones, might you need to empty out?
Yeah.
To make space for a future that's more inclusive, more sustainable, and maybe truly walkable for everyone.
Yeah, this narrative and the analysis alongside it, it really pushes us to think about the unexpected ways humans can adapt, can innovate when faced with huge challenges. What lessons from this empty country and the new cities that grew from it could we maybe apply in our own communities right now?
To foster that deeper sense of belonging, collective rebuilding.
Maybe even a more walkable world. Something to think about.